Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yesterday, we arrived in Garlemald and have been going about attempting to befriend the populace, and they keep stabbing us in the back or themselves in the back over and over and over again. So we shall see if they keep that up tonight. All right, we are live. Yeah, that does look an awful lot like the coat that Alpha and Alce are wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting quest names in Latin. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionnaires Marcelinius and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the Eel for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. I like that when you target something, your character's head tracks them. So when he started walking off, I actually started turning, following him as he was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You again. Ask the eel, he said. So, that's to be the way of it, after all this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. Well, something's about to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like self-destruct or what?
What do you want with me? Ask the eel. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty.
Almost sounds like a kamikaze run.
Yeah, but that wouldn't really make sense if they're there to get supplies.
Unless they want the two Magitechs to soften everybody up and then their guys finish everything out.
True. I just realized we could mount here. I forgot. KJ?
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I see the quest skippers right here.
Yeah.
Have you done as instructed? I'm going with option 1. Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. Ah, so if we say no, yeah. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter, a place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. Yeah, I wouldn't call that a short walk, Julius. And I do realize I'm still calling him Julius, even though his name is Euless, because there is no I in his name. But, yeah.
If you're on a good enough first name basis, you just call him Jules. Or Yules.
I'm starting to think pretty soon we're going to be calling him Dead. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Euless lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Yes, I will wait here.
This is my home. Our home.
Because he's acting like he ain't coming
At
back.
least it was until that night.
Yeah.
I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use. Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do. It's so cold. Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varus at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people. One race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand. To refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop, both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Yeah, it's not going to go over well with those twins.
No. Although I'm not sure why they were going there, but didn't they know that we were likely already in contact with him? But yeah, that's pretty much what I expected to happen the moment that they word arrived that everybody else had already surrendered. He wasn't going to surrender. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Well, we're not going to be doing that, Lucia. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. But perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Euless back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling to or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alpha Node Alizé and the scouts sent to extract them should already be at the station. I will also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Oh, we've got purple quests now. Ah, just who I was looking for. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rimmelnode of Ishgard. I've been put in charge of our arrangement with Tapper's Den, you see. However, the very first of the Tappers to come bearing Ceruleum has asked quite a lot of us, if I do say so. They wish for our help in getting Uterna Platform G up and running. The very same platform that's at the head of the Imperial's primary energy pipeline. What's more, he's a Garlean. I was convinced the only engineers left in Tapper's Den were from conquered territories. In any case, I am not qualified to judge the motives of the man. I'd feel much more at ease if I had someone of your experience helping to make the call. I thank you for your willingness to assist. Let us go and speak with the Tapper in question. He is a man by the name of Appius. Plus, you must be the friend Rimmelnode wanted to fetch. You have my thanks for getting him to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand. I have yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my proffered deal would be a boon to us and the Isilburg contingent alike. I used to work at Uterna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a Garlean such as yourself still be taking refuge in Tapper's Den? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from the other territories. You're right on the technicality. I was a supervisor, rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted. And that's to say nothing of the blind eye I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time I be of some real use to them, and everyone else, if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of a full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. Which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again, and you'll have your share of ceruleum coming out of the rig. You couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial agreement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? I'm a little uneasy about this. Yes, I've been leaning the same way myself. Ultimately, what he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that is how it goes when you're dealing with military times. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of your contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp here before you arrived, and I spotted a few ceruleum engines in need of repair. If I fix them, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see you driven out. Less reason. Assisting us with the use of local technology would go a long way. That said, I have not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It's not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You're welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect, and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss. Let us begin with the proper inspection then. We can get to work as soon as you're ready. I kind of want to know why we don't have some of Garland Ironworks guys here.
Yeah.
I mean, they flew us here. They should know how to run all this stuff. So... Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate if you could be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear, I'll be right behind you, telling you what to look for. If we inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what needs repair. Lead the way. Appius is now accompanying you, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I don't trust this guy. He's too insistently helpful.
Some might say the same about us.
Well, that is true. Of course, I say similar things about Alpha Node when he's sitting there trying to insist that people let us help him. Like, they're not trusting us. Of course, the proper solution to this would have been send somebody to Tapper's Den and confirm this guy is who he says he is.
Yeah.
Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea of what our next step ought to be. Though perhaps it would be best to apprise Rumaload of our process first. Our progress first. I'm still not entirely sure why Sickard is even here.
Yeah.
It just seems bizarre sending a pirate this far from the sea. Unless, of course, they just wanted to get rid of him for a while.
That's what I was thinking.
How are our engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examined are guaranteed to break down sooner or later, should you continue to use them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear it on my integrity as an engineer. You are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of Cerulean engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched the switch, correct? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them burning out, only to let them freeze solid instead ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume it didn't occur to you to warm them up first. I noticed you have heating technology of your own, but it'll do you no good should the engines to power them break. Now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. I am a machinist from cold climes myself, and what you say sounds plausible enough. Very well. On behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the Cerulean engines. I suspect that means I will be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own 2 hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. I guess if we feel like it, we can come back later and see how it turns out. I am going in the wrong direction.
You know, to answer that one, the general's question about unifying under Garlean rule, they weren't equal. You know, unless you were Garlean, you weren't going to be in the high up with them ever.
Indeed.
I mean,
Also,
it's short of slave labor.
Also, there is a severe difference between a people united under one banner and a people subjugated under one banner.
Oh yeah.
And of course, his opinion is, well, just don't be angry about it. But that's not how things work.
Yeah.
And probably the only reason that Garlemald itself lasted as long as it did is it was founded by a near immortal who ruled it for over a century by himself. If it had been like a normal nation changing rulers when the current ruler dies, which is usually every, 20 to 30 years, then it never would have gotten the way it was.
Yeah.
We arrived just before you did. And too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then when he was alone, No, he wouldn't. Tancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken to Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they want to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. One thing that would certainly help them with how cold this place is maybe putting some doors on this thing.
Yeah.
In the words of several old Southern ladies I know, You're letting the bought air out.
You say bought air?
Mm-hmm. It's actually more used in the summer for air conditioning, but it works in the winter for the heat as well.
Oh, gotcha. Because you're paying. Got it. Got it.
Hmm. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you, please. Well, got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. For what I could tell, the one in Laternum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp.
I just attuned as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Talked to the wrong person. It's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, those words start to lose meaning, until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12th. Thank the 12th. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Lamincian friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy with the hair similar shade to mine? He's my son, and I can't find him anywhere. It all started when I told him we ought to seek refuge with you in your encampment, and he started wailing and sobbing like I'd never seen. Next thing I knew, he was running hell for leather goodness knows where. Okay, that's a phrase I've never heard before. I'm worried he may have left the station altogether. and the streets above are rife with danger. Please, could you find him for me? Oh, you will? Bless your heart. If I know my son, he's probably tried to run to our house in the north of the Pallium Novum. Try there before anywhere. He'll be easy to recognize, I should think, with the color of his hair and all.
So she didn't dye it. It's just naturally blue.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, this is a JRPG after all. There have to be blue-haired characters somewhere.
And green. Green.
So absolutely green, yes.
Of course, that'd be the color I'd want, so I could be all camouflaged. Yeah, yeah. Or black.
Well, in our current location, it seems like white or gray would probably be best.
Yeah.
Another blocked street? Who are you? Mother sent you? Huh. Tell her I won't go to the enemy's camp. I'm going home. The boy with the sky blue hair has made good his escape. You'd best resume your search for the obstreperous youth.
Okay, I don't know whose turn it is. Someone needs to tie him up. Oh, whoops, here we go.
Yeah, we just had to go right here. Probably would have just been best just to grab him as soon as we saw him.
Yeah, clunked him on the head or something.
Well, man, I'm an 8-foot-tall dragon man. Just grab him by the back of the coat and pick him up off the ground.
You know he wiggle out of it.
Stop following me. Once again, with the boy with the sky blue hair has taken flight and will likely be looking over his shoulder for sign. Okay, we're going to have to be following him. I guess like we did with the
girl.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, the boy has a better result than she did.
Yeah.
That's right, kid. You ran right down the middle of the street, so you absolutely lost me. This cover isn't good enough for me. My head pokes out over the top.
So tough. I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, my ears popping over.
He saw me.
Oh, rats.
It was my own fault. I was paying a little too much attention to where you were going and not enough attention to where my kid was.
Yeah, don't follow me.
Yep. I'm just going to ignore the enemy.
Okay. shoot, I couldn't get through there and he caught me. That's obnoxious.
Damn it. I jumped over it, and then he saw me.
He runs really fast around the car that's just to the left of the thing you're hiding behind. Just be aware.
Thank you. When you get past that part, Zora and I stood over here.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure he ever looked back at that point. So.
How the hell did he see me?
Got too close.
That might have been it.
Need me to come pull something off of you, KJ?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
You just... Okay, you just turn around and leaving. You're fine. Well, that didn't work.
What's that?
Apparently, despite the fact the kid was standing in the circle at the end of the path for me coming back to help, you made me fail the objective, so I get to do it over again, too.
Oh no!
Dang it!
Learn from my failures, everyone. Learn from my failures.
I didn't leave soon enough, and the damn thing came around. Or the kid came around and saw me. Because he moves around that block, that pillar, pretty quick.
No. Our home, it was here. Right here. You again. Leave me alone. I'm staying here to build a new house. Bigger and better than the old one. The child has escaped your grasp yet again. Though this may be construed as a particularly tiresome endeavor, remember that he is only a child and knows no better. You should find him before he comes to harm. Find him and stuff him in a sack.
No, he's on his own. And it followed me.
I'm sorry, KJ, you can't keep it.
Oh,
No taking it home.
just mean.
Why do you care so much? We're enemies, remember? Why are you trying to help me? I'm going with option 2. I don't care what you say. We don't need your help. But Mother's worried. I should go back to the station. I hear it.
Above us, probably.
Oh yeah, probably.
Or is it on the other side of this pile?
Oh, it's probably on top of this, probably on top of the road above us. And I don't, at the moment, see the way up there. According to my compass, I should be standing basically on top of it right now.
I think it's down here where Emo's headed. And I. The road is sloping.
Alright.
Yeah, it's at the top of this ramp.
That one's considerably easier to find. Unless I get stuck inside rubble. The size of this zone is kind of deceptive. Sometimes it feels huge, sometimes it feels tiny. Like, it didn't feel like we had wandered halfway across the map, but we had.
I think because we're concentrating on following him, it didn't seem that way.
True. I was wondering when I would see you again. Happy to report my son has returned. Poor creature, you should have seen him. Tears pouring down his little cheek, crying his apologies to me. I know that you were the one who found him, though he didn't mention a word of it to me. I almost couldn't believe my ears when he said he wouldn't mind moving to your camp. He was dead against it only hours ago. What could have happened, I wonder? What, he was attacked? By that horrid Magitech, you say? Goodness, that must have been quite a shock for my little man. Thank you for coming to his rescue. There is a solitary lesson in this to be gained from all this, though. One that I hope he retains. Do not scorn a proffered hand when one is in need, whether that hand be a friend's or a foe's. At any rate, I thank you for finding him. It's not much, but please, I insist.
Well, and we got a couple witch cults too, so
Yes.
besides the one she was giving us for the quest.
And by my count, there should be 2 more to find in this zone and 3 more from quests.
Did everybody get credit for that?
No, you gotta cast a chain on.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah, we each have to do it, apparently. But we can all do it on the same guy, apparently.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, well, man, I understand why we didn't kill him, but why is he just sitting there?
I couldn't figure out why we didn't kill him. Then I was like, oh, this chain thing. Let's see this. Ah, yep. Those Jotuns look like, oh, I can't remember what it was, D&D. Second edition, the big bad monster thing. Would never die.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one, KJ. There seem to be no threats on the path ahead. You know, just these blue giants everywhere. But I guess they're not important.
Right? The monster I'm thinking of, you couldn't destroy it, couldn't be killed. And even if you did, it would come back. They have another version of it in the 5th edition. I can't remember the name though. Start with a T. Anyway. Oh, I was starting to think I
I
did it.
didn't get
Whoops.
credit for it. It was hitting the wrong.
Alright. Will it let you activate the spot again? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zora just beat the guy almost to death and then stood there and watched him die.
Well, he is bleeding there. The flashy light.
Alright, I'm good. My clicking isn't cooperating.
There you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The temper proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information for our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first, and all. And I just had a thought a few minutes ago of the biggest flaw in Quintus's plan or theory or whatever. The Empire runs on the theory that they conquer people, and then over time those people will accept their place in the Empire and become citizens like everybody else. Except the Garleans are living constantly in a state of rage about what those people in the long distant past did to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't forget the wrongs done to you, what makes you think the people you conquer are going to forget the wrongs you did to them?
True.
I was informed of Quintus's suicide. Must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life he had hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who could say? I didn't know the man, or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide the much-needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium should have a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you to seek out Ishtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Oh yes, we're going to track down Ishtola and try to tell her what to do. That works well. We also seem to have at least 2 blue quests up.
Yeah, one right there.
Go ahead and talk to Ishtola first, because she's right here. Yes, I have been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water, but what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with, between the tempered and the first wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Y'all may go ahead and push the button if you like. I need to AFK for a moment. I'll be right back. And I am back.
Welcome back.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you, you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent, we owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. Indeed, we can but do our utmost to unite these disparate peoples and lead them to victory.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
On behalf of the Valiant Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varys?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken. Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh. So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject. Come now. To us Asians, it is no different from trying on new clothes. Why not make the most of it by partaking in this fine cuisine? I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate. Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Osgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima. It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost his appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself. Or together.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity. Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making his way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
I'm guessing y'all have saved me the trouble of having to exit out, disband the party, and proceed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got kicked out of the game, so...
You got kicked out? Totally kicked out?
Yep.
That sucks.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
Oh shit, this sucks.
Yeah, it looks like the goal here is avoid as much combat as possible. And I just got swarmed and slaughtered.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna try it one more time on normal, and then I'm gonna crank it down to easy if I die again.
I am unsure which direction I'm supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I've been wandering aimlessly and haven't got any idea where I'm supposed to be heading.
I moved my map out so that I could see down. You gotta go southwards towards the other base, because that's where you're going. So far, I'm putting together a immobilized Magitech Reaper.
Ah, okay. Maybe that's what I need to be doing.
There's like 3 pieces out here. Oh shit, I'm stuck in the...
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
And then it says disembark and head to the to the camp.
Okay, so we need to find Magitech bits.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you'll find a bunch of citizens and try and help them out. Which actually makes you go and go southwest, but anyway, yeah. Make sure you check dead bodies for medikits. Which you probably already did.
Yeah, so far that's the only thing I've been finding.
Be careful of the tanks when you finally get into a circle. Damn it. That blew up and killed everything. Although that looks like it's the next thing. So I died, and then there's another button where you gotta click your left, right thing going. Or spacebar and another button. They've got me crawling. Wow.
I keep wandering into the bounding box of the area. Alright, I finally found the Magitech you were mentioning.
There's a guy in a building with a quest right by it, and he'll give you the key.
Alright. I know where the fuel is, because I've found it on multiple occasions.
Yeah, me too.
Does your the character you're playing as, does it have similar abilities to you?
No.
Nope.
He's more of a tank for Marauder.
So you have Rage of Halone, Combo, Fighter, Flight, and Rampart?
Yeah.
Okay, you have Paladin abilities.
Yeah, when you finally get to the circle, I don't know how well you do, but I mean, like, I was doing okay, I thought, because I already went to the easy mode, and I was fighting everything, and then I went to the center to get out of the big boom, but then we got jumped anyway, and then the tanks got hit. I didn't kick them to the outsides, and I basically got knocked on my ass, and then when I came to, I had like just a sliver of health left, and I had to literally commando crawl my way back to the base. Needless to say, it didn't take the full 26 minutes or whatever I had, or 20 minutes, but anyway. But you go certain ways towards the not base, but the camp, and then it flips you over into another cutscene. People are looking for you.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to survive that. I got clear of the circles and still took the hit.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed that auto run doesn't work while I'm crawling.
I know. Auto crawl? Come on, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing stupid arrows.
Although I will say I am crawling pretty fast.
Yeah, you speed up. When you start to speed up, you end up getting to the point.
To the edge.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Euless? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw him leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well he can handle himself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Wow, Alice. Jeez.
Case closed.
That's
Little
him.
personal question
Over
there.
there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive his presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties.
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I've yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered.
Oh, are we all in different
Anima will
instances?
soon have
I'm in
absorbed the
3.
requisite amount of ether.
I'm still in the cutscene.
And then shall come
Okay.
the spectacle
I'm standing
to
next to
end
Catherine
all
now.
spectacles.
I think I saw it pop up and say I was in 2 for just a second, but I'm
The
not sure
eldest
yet.
And most powerful
Okay,
of
Zora and I are in
primals
3.
will
We'll switch
awaken,
to 2.
and all shall bear witness to the final days.
Backslash what now? To check.
Instance.
I mean, it's easy enough for us to check. Actually, don't know where we were standing. Do you?
I'm in 1.
It's over by
The
they're in 1.
gods
They're in 1 anyway. We need
themselves
to
Yeah,
switch.
be
I'm in
my
1
will.
and he's standing next
Your
to me.
dear
So.
companions, my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength.
thank goodness. He's awake.
I am pleased to report you are very much alive.
Okay, Zora, where'd you get the griffin hatchling?
That is...
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
The hunt list. So those cerulean...
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly.
I remember we got hung up on
Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Sorry, Kath.
Hmm?
I'm getting chastised for talking over your cutscenes.
Because you were talking over mine, it was hard to hear, so I figured that's the case there.
Now I think we all need to go and wash our souls. Because...
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe we've just witnessed a very clear sign of how weak Hydaelyn has gotten. If Xenos could snap our soul out of our blessing of Hydaelyn protect bodies.
Yeah.
You're certain you're well? Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good. Though I won't promise the same for Fandaniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Prelude to the final days or no, this ends now. Are you well enough to make your report? Yeah, just let me sit down and I'll tell you anything you want to know. This anima was summoned from the corpse of Emperor Varys? Does their depravity know no bounds? It seems not. More to the point, we must surmise that wave of ether issued not from the Tower of Babel, but from the primal lurking within it. A primal whose cry rang rather more loudly in your ears than ours. If you were taken to the tower itself, then this proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that that is the beating heart of the Telophoroid's machinations. In which case, we have some highly relevant information. As many of you know, ever since we dispatched troops to free the Leveliers, we've been developing a plan to infiltrate the tower. According to Thancred and his scouts, the main structure is lousy with tempered and enemy magitech. Furthermore, the road leading to it has collapsed, making it difficult to approach in numbers. Thus do we propose dividing our forces into two parties, one to distract and one to infiltrate. The diversionary force will be comprised of the Ishgardian, Gridanian, and Lamincian delegations. They will begin the construction of bridges to make the Telophoroi believe we are marching upon the tower. Meanwhile, the best suited of our Alamigan, Uldan, and Eastern comrades will use different methods of ingress. Look here. The facility marked in red is the Insuladium, a vast magitech manufactory in ruins now, of course. But the freight tunnel connecting it to the erstwhile Imperial Palace remains intact. While the Telophoroid's attention is elsewhere, our infiltration force can use it to enter the tower undetected. Be aware, however, that the underground rail network remains very much operational. The Tempered are using it to bring supplies to the tower even now. If it can carry their material, it can carry us too, providing we sneak aboard unseen. The Scions will lead the infiltration party. Once inside, you must locate and dispatch Fandaniel and Xenos. I went with option 3. Aye, there will be no more casualties of the Telophoroid's maniacal ambition. How quickly can we enact this plan? Fandaniel made it quite clear the haste is a priority. Of paramount concern, even, assuming he didn't name the tower Babel on a whim. In Amon's time, it meant Gateway of the Gods. Zande used it to refer to a void gate, but in this case, it almost certainly alludes to something altogether greater. The eldest and most powerful of primals. All the more reason to act now. The rest of the contingent is aware of the plan, and are ready to move at a moment's notice. You are to proceed north to the Forum Patens. Lisa's group will meet you there. As ever, we are grateful for your foresight. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Spare no effort in your preparations. And I was wondering when we were coming through the cutscene whether Ishtola would be the one who noticed we weren't us.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she did notice, but then she doubted herself. So.
Yeah, because she wasn't feeling good, and she thought it was because being too close to the stuff.
The wave, yeah. Or too soon after that last wave.
We had a mean look on our face, but I wonder how Gratia knew it wasn't us.
We had kind of a Xenos sneer on our face.
Yeah.
Probably never seen a sneer on our face, really.
Right.
Well, I mean, we have gone missing, and we come wandering up, and Alize and Graha come up to ask us if we're okay, and we sneer at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not us. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I need to sell some junk.
Alright. I'm gonna pick up what I'm assuming are the other Aetheryte quests here.
Alright.
Well, well. Now here's a sight that warms the heart. I never thought I'd have the honor to meet a hero of your pedigree, let alone beg of your aid. You see, I've got a shipment of supplies to send down to Tapper's Den, and having someone who knows the lay of the land by my side would go a long way to ensure its safe delivery. I'd defend it myself, but I have to carry the bloody thing. If you'd be so kind as to escort me, I assure you I'll make it worth your while. Well then, I'll be waiting outside the gates of camp. Come meet me when you are ready, but don't take too long. Monsters abound in these parts. I've seen you before. In Tertium, yes? I was part of the first group transferred here, but there's someone I'm trying to find. A small boy, red hair. Have you seen him? Probably still refusing to budge. Oh, my apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gala, First Legion. I've been doing what I can for the refugees, though I suppose I'm one myself. You see, I've always tried to help those in need. Some call me a busybody, in fact. Before joining the military, I was a member of the Vigiles Urbani, and it was our duty to keep the citizenry safe. Old habits die hard, though, which is why I'm determined to look after that. He's been separated from his parents in the chaos, but he won't leave the station without them. Thing is, that's no place for a child his age to be fending for himself. You've seen the conditions there. He needs food and warmth, which you and yours have been kind enough to offer. I should go back to the station to try persuading him to join your camp. Can I trouble you to accompany me? It'll do him good to see you're not the monsters he probably thinks you are. Thank you. Well, no time like the present.
I don't know, I got some pretty long ears.
There's probably no reason for me to mount up. The quest giver is, like, right here.
With what we've been through, we need to drop.
Yeah, there you go. There you are. I knew you'd have the heart to help a soul in need. The commissary officer is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can lead the yeah. We have a blue circle. I'm heading for the blue circle. Yes, giving the opportunity, I will chat with the nameless NPC. It'll be some time yet before we've mapped the entirety of this vast expanse. It stretches north as far as the eye can see, unhospitable to even the hardiest of explorers. It's a wonder the Garleans survived at all, let alone went on to form the Empire. Seeing the Magna Glacius with my own eyes, however, I've gained some understanding of their disposition. This is only hearsay, but I've been told these masses are formed when ceruleum bursts forth from the earth and comes into contact with the surrounding water, freezing instantly and capturing that moment of violence forevermore. Water mixed in it prevents the ceruleum from being set aflame, so we can't use it as fuel without refinement. The amount of ceruleum you get after all that work is barely worth the trouble. Pure ceruleum is wrested straight from the earth. That's what those rigs you see off in the distance are doing, so I've heard. Here we are, safe and sound. I couldn't have done it without you, friend. Now that's all that's left is deliver the goods. Let's enter those caves and get some shelter from these freezing winds, eh? Stupid Xenos disabled my iron will, too. He wasn't going to do any tanking that way.
No.
Well, the goods have been safely delivered, but I'm afraid I have one more task to beg of you. Of course, I'd do it myself if I could, but I'm afraid this calls for someone with skills that I lack. You're not obligated to help me again, but seeing as how you're already here, maybe you won't mind hearing me out? We'll come back later.
No.
Chances are no.
You just wait here. If you happen to be having a class that's up to like level 83 or so and want some XP.
Right.
We can use the teleport, right?
Yep.
Never mind.
My prediction is correct. He should still be around here. His name is Volasis, but most know him better for his scarlet locks. Considering how reluctant he is to leave, I doubt he'd answer if we tried calling out for him. Would you mind helping me look? Here he is. I'm gonna stand here. You guys stand over there. Catch him when he runs.
Okay.
Who are you? Volasis. Been looking everywhere for you. Still refusing to join everyone at the other camp, I see. I'm not going anywhere. Not without Mom and Dad. Don't you see? It's for your own good. I know you. You came here with Euless, didn't you? And I skipped the next line. No one's saying they aren't. Sorry to burden you, but I have a feeling he'll be more cooperative once he's got this off his chest. Hear him out, would you? I don't think I will. At least not till later.
Not until I get an 80th level.
And now we have one quest Aether current to find and 2 that are still scattered around the map. And one of them happens to be about 1 kilometer in this direction.
Cool.
Hmm.
Cool automated cavalry.
Ah. Way into the tunnel is clear. We've made sure of it. I was just about to say, I'm going with option 1. I'll warm up when I throw a punch or two. Barely enough cloth to swaddle a newborn. Clearly you spent too long around this feral dog of the Dorthrall. Watch your tongue, fool, lest I feed it to the crows. We will see who is the fool when you freeze to death. Expect me not to warm your ill-prepared hide. These furs are for myself and my Nama alone. Should I be blessed to meet her one day.
They're so gonna get together.
Or she's just gonna kill it, one or the other.
Yeah.
As if any woman of worth would wish to be warmed by you, little son. Should we find such a warrior within, she will bask in my glorious flame. Stop, both of you. Save your fire for the enemy. As for extra furs, I have plenty to spare. As do we.
Except for I can't say his name. He changed his clothes and he looks less warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all back in their post Shadowbringers gear.
Mm-hmm.
All set for battle, I see. Yes, free of unnecessary encumbrances, if rather more susceptible to the cold. Let us review our strategy quickly, if you don't mind. Pippin's group has gone on ahead to the Insuladium. We are to meet them there. We wait until the Temper's attention is drawn by the diversionary force, then we sneak onto the train. Next stop, the Tower of Babel. If any tempered included are injured, we Zalia will tend to them. You Scions must press on, no matter what. We should avoid moving as a group until we're underground. So we'll need to make our own ways to the Installatium. See you there. Oh, and much like the Tower of Zot was a dungeon in Final Fantasy IV, the Tower of Babel was as well. Was there a tunnel back there we were supposed to go through?
I was just wondering that. I was like, how do we get in?
Like, this wall looks pretty complete. Also of note, in Final Fantasy IV, the Tower of Babel was the tower to the moon. So, how it reached the moon, the game never actually explained.
Oh, straight ahead, maybe that's a down thing. Like the other one.
Perhaps.
Well, there's an opening right there, though, to the left.
Ah, we just had to go around the wall. Okay.
Pip's people, the little people.
Hail, it's good to see you. We heard that you collapsed, but we're given only the most cursory explanation. I'm glad you've recovered, and quickly enough to take part in the operation at that. As you will have heard, we've secured the way in. Some few are to remain behind to keep your escape route clear. Our comrades from Linte's Tears will lead the way to the station. I'll join you soon. Station's right this way. Tread lightly now. Yeah, I was actually kind of expecting that to be instanced. I'm glad it wasn't. Oh, Pippin has new clothes. This is everyone. That sounded an awful lot like they just collapsed the tunnel.
Yeah.
Consider the enemy well and truly distracted. Oh, okay, that was the distraction. Time to go. Our primary objective is, of course, the Telophoroid's leaders. But should we be presented with an opportunity to vanquish Anima, we must seize it. If it is indeed the force behind these towers, destroying it would deliver our allies from the Telophoroid's reign of terror. And I, for one, would not see the Garlean people manipulated any longer, be it by Primal, Ascian, or anything else. Hear, hear. There's been enough of that. We came to help the people of Garlemald, and that's what we're going to do. Together. Till the very end. The train should be along any moment now. Prepare to board, everyone.
I'm not sure, but I think that might be a captain's coat that Pippin's wearing. It's just different colors.
Could be. mean, it should be higher than a captain. He's not a captain.
Well, yeah, should be higher, but it still looks like their army's outfits.
Yeah.
Did anybody get a book by chance? Wondrous Tales?
I have not, I don't think.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me either. We're just thinking if this is another dungeon.
It is another dungeon, but I actually do have a book, but it's expired. So. And I'm not going to do anything about that since I'm probably going to hit 90 soon.
Cool.
Maybe not in this dungeon, but soon.
Pregrats.
But even if you don't have a book, we do have dungeons we can do now. We didn't have them before.
Now or never.
In my cutscene, KJ, you ran around the opposite side of everyone else.
Yeah.
Somebody did in mine too, I just didn't see who it was.
I didn't know this.
Yay, I don't need to be afraid of the stupid Magitech spiders anymore. I didn't even see these stairs. Has he always been Magni the Older?
I don't
Magni
remember.
the Older? Oh, I don't know.
The existence of an older usually implies a younger.
Well, that can't be because this guy's looking for a wife or a spouse or a significant
Well,
other or whatever.
you can have a younger without it being your son. It could be your brother or your nephew or something like that. So.
Why are they going that way?
Because there's a boss
we
here and they
can't
don't
go,
want to fight it. Hello, Barnabas. Who was the first boss in the Tower of Babel in Final Fantasy IV. At the start of the fight, the boss will perform ground and pound on Lugae and summon a ring around the arena that gives the players a 15-second electrocution debuff, dealing damage over time. So ground and pound is a line AoE that is with a delayed marking that targets a random player. Dynamic pound, the boss will move to the north edge of the arena and a line AoE appears across the stage. It will pulse with polarity while players are assigned a polarity of their own. Players with the same polarity as the AoE's polarity will be pushed back. Players with a polarity that's opposite the AoE will be pulled in. Therefore, if the polarity is the opposite of the one of the AoE, they must move away to the edge of the arena, so they are pulled into a safe spot. If they are of the same polarity, they must move to the other edge, so they are pushed to the safe spot. When the cast finishes, players will be stunned and placed and pushed and pulled according to towards the AoE in accordance with their polarity. Failing this could also knock players into the ring at the edge of the arena, which will of course electrocute you. Shocking Force, a random player receives a stack marker requiring all players to stack in one place to mitigate the damage. Dynamic Scrap Line, both the players and the boss receive a polarity and are tethered together. The boss also calls a point-blank AoE. The mechanics are the same as Dynamic Pound. Same polarity will cause a knockback, opposite polarity will cause a pulled-in effect. Failing this mechanic deals heavy damage and considerable knockback. And Thunder Call, the boss summons 3 lightning orbs around the arena and drops a point-blank AoE. Players must stand in the safe spaces away from the boss and between the orbs when they go off, or they will take heavy damage and knockback. And that is it. Mostly seems to be just pay attention to what polarity you are. You probably don't want to stand near the edge.
So negative.
I'm positive that means I'm gonna get pushed back. I screwed up. I may have forgotten how magnets worked for a minute there. Negative, come up here with me. I interpreted that incorrectly.
I'm dead. Thanks, Laura.
You need to move closer away.
Apparently I thought I needed to be away, and I was wrong.
Yeah, I saw it, so I started running and pushed me right out. Goes for me.
I'm dead. Oh my hell.
I'm just trying to get my stuff up.
That's fine. Yay, I actually did it right for once.
Guess I wasn't far enough.
I think we did it right there, KJ.
Well, I actually got pulled in and got hit, so I was a little closer, I think. I was just gonna say, why is this doing the countdown?
That was a bit of chaos, but not too bad.
Still fun, yeah.
And in Final Fantasy IV, you fight Lugae and Barnabas at the same time, and basically your goal is to make the big guy hit the little guy. Which is why this fight started with the big guy hitting the little guy, I think. Oh, we got Lise and Pippin over there.
We all disconnected for a second.
What?
We had red, well, you two disconnected and I disconnected.
I didn't see any such things. Oh, you're all listed as disconnected now.
Oh yeah, it's frozen.
And the screen is just froze on me.
Yeah.
Well, it came back for
Now
me.
we're back. Yeah.
Yay! I'm alive somehow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm frozen now. Oh no, I just didn't have anything targeted.
Target something.
That's funny.
I'm pretending to fight. It's fine.
I do that a lot. With my automatic hits and shooters.
Yeah, you guys were all there. Everything was going fine, and then all three of you showed disconnected at the same time. Oh, they actually put Magnai and Suda over there by themselves.
Uh-huh. Can't get along. Put them together in the room.
Well, they're both pretty good at killing stuff.
Yeah.
I did wonder why the elevator on the opposite side was empty, though. Okay, I don't like this room at all.
Yeah, that looks like... Mom! Oh, hold on. Sorry, I had put it down. Hold on. I'll be back.
You said all of that in chat.
I could really do without the centipedes everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that is definitely what they look like.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Gave me time to critique Van Daniel's skills as an interior decorator. They are somewhat lacking.
Yeah. It's not something I like.
Oh, I see what's going on. I go look and everybody's
Yeah, I just saw my mom come leading backwards from the stairs. So I figured I better help her down the stairs so she wouldn't possibly fall.
Gotcha.
I guess she fell asleep, so she was kind of
woozy.
Oh yes, I forgot this part. The big guy and the little guy merge and turn into this thing, basically.
interesting.
Okay, we have thermal suppression, which is an unavoidable room-wide AoE. Need to mitigate and heal through. Magitech missile is 2 random players are targeted with AoEs. Move out of the way to avoid. Magitech ray, the boss fires a line AoE in the direction of a random player. The boss will then move to the center of the arena and 2 plates will become active. The boss will use one of 2 abilities at random. Magitech Chakram, which summons chakrams at the arena's perimeter. Players need to step on the purple plate to debuff themselves with minimum so the attack misses them. Downpour, the arena fills with water and players are debuffed with heavy and a stack of breathless every second. After 8 stacks, the player is automatically killed. Stepping on the green plate will debuff players with toad to remove the stacking debuff and resist further stacks. During both of these phases, the boss will fire various attacks, so players must be ready to move, especially while debuffed with toad and unable to use any skills or spells. It should be noted that stepping on the incorrect plate can be reversed if players simply step on the plate again. Magitech explosion, 3 large bombs will drop onto the arena after the cast. After a short while, they will explode in untelegraphed cross-line AoEs that extend across the arena. Players will need to determine the safe zone and stand it before they explode. So, Magitech Chakram, step on purple. Downpour, step on green. Downpour, step on green as soon as it lights up.
These are cute frogs.
They are so cute. I love them.
Jump back on green again.
Here come the bombs. Okay, at least they are actually telegraphed now. Okay, be ready to step on purple. And here come the bombs again. Gonna be the green plate again this time. Gonna be the purple plate again.
Woo!
That was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Checking for treasure coffers back this way. Doesn't seem to be anything back there. Which makes me wonder why it exists. This thing's going fast.
Yeah, it made a weird thing looking like we were going down again. Like an illusion.
Mm-hmm. My audio just cut out for some reason. Can y'all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can still hear y'all. Just can't hear the game. So I guess most of us have had this happen at some point, haven't we?
Oh, I have, for
Isn't it
sure.
like Control S or something?
Yeah, that did nothing.
Hmm.
I think every time it's happened before, we've just had to restart the game to get the sound back. Which, not worth the trouble right now.
Yeah.
At least it happened almost at the end of stream as opposed to the beginning of stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These are some ugly things.
Mm-hmm.
Van Daniel's interior design strikes again. And I have never understood why, across multiple Final Fantasy games, anima has always been depicted as something looking similar to this. And it has never made any sense. And it still doesn't. Okay.
What's
Go
the
ahead.
Japanese word for demon?
Yokai or Oni.
Oni. Okay, never mind. I thought anima was another name for their demons.
Maybe.
Never mind. It's not anima. I was watching Demon. I can't remember what the hell it's called now. Never mind. Sorry.
All right. Okay, Lunar Nail. Nails will drop onto the edge of the arena and the center. The nails will tether to one another, and any of the quadrants of the arena that have tethers on all four sides will be filled by an AoE. Players must move to the safe quadrants and the safe quadrants of the arena to avoid. Phantom Pain cast to execute the AoE for Lunar Nail. Mega Graviton is unavoidable room-wide AoE. This will summon a Mega Graviton in each corner of the room. Patriae is a line AoE down the center of the room. Ethereal Pull. Each Mega Graviton will tether a player who must then run to the opposite side of the arena. The tether will turn from a jagged arrow to a thin straight line once the players have moved far enough. Pater Patriae will fire, then players will be pulled towards the Mega Graviton. If players don't move far enough away, they will take heavy damage and a vulnerability up stack. Boundless Pain. The boss will begin drawing ether, and once the cast finishes, all players will be pulled to the center of the room and hit by a continuous AoE that slowly expands outwards. Players must run to the corners of the room to escape. Each second, the AoE deals 2,500 damage. Imperatum. Players are pulled into the floor to face the lower half of Anima, and a chaos gauge slowly begins to fill. If players fail to defeat the lower half before the gauge fills, Oblivion will wipe the party. Obliviating Claw. 2 sets of claws will spawn at the east and west edges of the arena, one side before the other. Players must determine which side is spawning first, and they are the first claws that will move across the arena and stand in the gap between the claws, then repeat for the second set. Erupting Pain. 2 random players are marked with following AoEs. Players should place these at the east and west edges of the arena and run to the opposite side, being sure to not cross each other while the remaining 2 players stay clear of them. And Oblivion. If players defeated the lower half of Anima before a Chaos Gauge fills, this will deal very little damage and take players back to the upper Anima fight, where the attacks will repeat. If not, the party will be wiped. And that is it.
What do you gotta do with these?
Get out of the boxes. Yeah.
I did not get out of the boxes. Run away from what's tethering you.
What is it we got to kill under here? That thing?
Yeah, we have to kill Anima.
Watch out for the claws. Yeah.
Oh man.
I didn't see it come up on the other side, damn it.
I misinterpreted. I didn't see the ones on the other side come up first.
Oh shit.
I'll get you in a sec.
We're halfway through on the chaos and halfway through the Anima.
Be ready to dodge the calls. Use the limit break, Zora. Or do you have a button for that?
Claws are coming back.
No, stay with me for the first one, and then move forward for the
I know.
second one.
I'm gonna die.
Nope, we're all gonna die.
Ah, damn it.
Well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that didn't seem to do all that much damage. And then I saw 9 9s in a row. Like, oh, yeah, that did it. That's all right.
Yes,
we almost had him.
Yeah, I didn't know there was another side.
To get yanked into the middle, you need to run to one of the corners. And we're about to get pulled under. Incoming claws.
East and west, guys.
I did not
Oh, dang
think
it.
it was going to keep on following me, damn it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Here come the claws again.
Claws again.
Use the limit break as soon as you can, KJ.
Do you want it all the way to the blue or?
We don't have time. Yeah, I think we're about to die again.
Ah, damn it. But it still made me use it. That's kind of crap.
Well, when we die, it drops to 0 anyway.
Oh.
Well, maybe not. We seem to still be alive.
I'm dead.
I'll get you.
Must have been just
Run to the
barely.
corners as soon as we get sucked into the middle here. Here come the nails.
Do you think it's this side?
Get out of here! Get out of here!
This is not safe. Which
front,
side?
front.
See, I can't tell which one's safe or not. I see the squares going up, but
You need to see where the nails are. If there's no nail in the corner, that square is safe.
Gotcha.
Prepared to run away from your tether. About to get sucked into the middle. Be prepared to run into the corners.
Should I use it again?
Here come the nails.
My corner.
This corner should be safe again.
Should I limit break or wait?
We're fine. Be prepared to run from your tether. And we win.
Yay!
Yay!
Not really sure how we survived the underside section, but we did. And that's what matters.
Well, I think the first time we were not at max health, and that last time Zora was the only one that wasn't topped off.
Ah. Well, I mean, the first time it hit us for a number that was bigger than our health pools.
Yeah.
It instantly killed us. But this time it didn't. So maybe we actually killed it just before it fired it off. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I did get it off. I was wondering if I got it off or not. The limit break, because it was getting close. I was like, ah. Are we greeting on the music?
I needed.
Okay. And I got a bow again.
I got a coat.
Oh, I forgot to look.
I actually like this coat.
That bow is ugly.
Tell me if this is voiced. Is it voiced?
Yeah.
Farewell, Varys. May the gods have mercy on your soul. Come, the other two await. This madness ends here. Oh, hush. This is the best part. Enough. O mighty Zodiarch, awaken from your slumber and descend. some manner of magical defense? Kryl? But how? The shackles that bind my adversary will not be so easily broken. Hydaelyn, feeble relic of a forgotten age. Hark, victory is mine. No more ether. And I was so close. My lord, a slight change of plans. We shall travel to the moon and break this wretched barrier ourselves. Whatever it takes. Was that? The final order issued by Anima to the tempered thralls. Should the Empire fall, the world must share her fate. Of course, Father lacked the conviction to give such a command. The abomination born of his flesh was but a puppet, and I the puppeteer. You madman, you monster! There's a funny joy in watching your flailing attempts to fight the inevitable. You're all going to die and are powerless to prevent it. We really must be on our way. You're welcome to give chase, provided you are content to leave comrade and tempered alike to die screaming. I have asked too much of this child. Tend to her. The last brand of Lamentorum is yet unbroken. Zodiark remains bound. I have shifted the flow of ether and sent the enemy far from their destination. Now I shall divert it once more. An ally awaits, and I will deliver you unto him. Seek his aid. Restore the seal. The Zodiark must not be set free. The tempered are running wild. Not only those at the tower, but those back at the camp. The others are doing their best to contain them, but the situation is growing beyond our control. Leave them to die or give up the chase, just like Fandaniel said. You're going alone? You have our trust and our faith. I pray we have yours. Our friends of the Tempered need our help. We will save as many as we can, I swear. Once we have matters well in hand, we will join you on the moon. Until then, be careful. There's no telling what you'll find. If all of the Tempered are afflicted, Julius and his comrades likely put up quite the struggle. We'll find a way to save them. We must. I only pray we are not too late. In the meantime, may the 12 carry you to victory. My apologies, I was lost in thought. This device is of Allagan design, which leads me to think I was right about Fandaniel. No matter what he claims, he still has an attachment to the trappings of his past. Whether knowing this will make your path forward clearer, I cannot say, but bear in mind. But let us turn to the task at hand. As Heidelin said, the flow of aether will transfer you to Mare Lamatorum.
Are we all phased again?
Probably. I'm talking to Graha right now. We must hope this ally of hers can provide you with the necessary assistance to restore the seal before Xenos and Fandaniel arrive to stop you. It seems we are ever one step behind, but I have faith that you'll make up the difference. Know that whatever awaits, our prayers are with you. Now go, beyond the sky. Probably gonna have to see if I can rewatch this stuff with sound later.
Well, Graha don't talk, and neither does Alphino.
You, with me, Heidelin's champion.
Did you guys exit to Gallermald and not pick up the new quest?
I picked up the new quest.
I did too, and I actually took the teleportation.
Yeah, as have I. I'm standing next to Zora, who's still in cutscene.
Are you guys back at town, or are you on the moon?
We're on the moon.
Alright.
Figured we might as well do this so we can get the Aetherite on the moon.
Sorry, I'm almost there.
No problem.
Said I was in 3, so hopefully.
You're here with us.
Okay.
Nice, I like that.
I kind of like it too.
That's cool.
I note this aetheryte is a familiar design.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome to the moon, everybody.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's cool.
Kind of reminds me of the whole, oh shit. I can't remember that cartoon. Well, they go to the moon when they die, and then they go back to the Earth.
Log Horizon.
Thank you. I can remember Horizon, but I can't remember Log. I was like, what was it? It's been a while.
Yeah. All right, just 1 second. Let me wind down the stream. All right, guys. Sorry our audio cut out on us, but I didn't have any control over that. But I will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.